Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the BeBall Jones podcast. Of course, I am BeBall Jones, and of course, that is I finally got it right on the first try. That is Nelson Hansky. Feel good about that one.
I feel it. Hey, it be different. I can't lie, it be different.
You're throwing me off, man. But I finally got it right on the first try. So right there is Nelson Hansky if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening, then you probably have no clue what we're talking about right here. But if you're watching, you kind of understand what we're talking about here. Everybody's kind of messed up on it. But that's Nelson Hansky right there, man. What's up, man?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
Bro, I was on a 9, but that just bumped me up to a 10 that I finally got it right. So feeling pretty good.
I feel it though. I promise you. Cause like I didn't, you know how many times I just tried to point. Hold on, let me see if I can wait. Remember all the times I said my trophy right there. Yeah. I can't never point that. But so I feel it.
So yeah, man. Yeah, everybody's good, man. So we're in a good mood. Let's go ahead and get into today's topic or discussion for today, which is just our thoughts and feelings on the Redeem Team documentary that dropped not too long ago. The Redeem Team is a 2008 men's basketball Olympic team. For those few people who may not know or understand, but if you listen to this podcast, I'm pretty sure you have a good understanding of that. So you had enough time to watch it. So I don't want to hear no spoilers, no nothing like that. We've given you enough time, in my opinion, to watch it. So getting our thoughts, reactions, whatever about it. So you, man, what are your thoughts about it, man, after watching the documentary?
Man, I can't lie, dog. I loved it. Like, it was a great doc, well made. Like the build up to that team of, like, you know, with the recent the past few Olympic teams and how they flamed out and stuff. Because I never really thought about it. Like, you know, that was kind of like my younger years, so I wasn't really thinking about it back then. But like 2000, 2004, you know, them years, like, you would think they would just win with the talent they had, but they was not winning.
Yeah.
And so I never really thought about that. And then, you know, the Redeem Team, and then the story, how they put it all together. Because, like, man, anytime you think, and I'm sure, like, you and most people would agree, like, anytime you think about, well, the team was LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony, Jason Kidd. But I ain't even talking about before Kobe even came to the picture. When you name them guys, most people be like, yeah, Allen Iverson. Most people be like, oh yeah, they gonna win it all.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't. They did not. And that's the craziest thing. And, you know, it kind of makes you realize, like, one of the little underlying lessons, I don't know if y'all picked up on it, but if you didn't, go watch it again. One of the little underlying lessons in the Redeem Team doc is basketball, no matter how much talent you got, it's still a team game. Because, of course, they had the most talent. The NBA is the best of the best in the world. And we know that. And the other countries knew that. And they said it. Like Manu Ginobili said it. Everything. Other countries know. They're like, man, overall talent, they better than us. But we play better as a team. At the end of the day, it's five guys out there that's got to play. It's not one-on-one. And that, I bet that hit folks. Like this is still a team game. Like, yeah, we got Bron. Yeah, we got Wade. Yeah, we got Melo. But if they don't play the right way and play together, they still gonna lose. So I thought that was a good little thing, a little underlying theme in the show, in the doc. But overall, man, I just think it was really great, man. I think it was the whole, like, story. The story of it all was great. I think it's cool to see how stars came together and, you know, I kind of put their pride to the side to play. Like, think about how Dwayne Wade was like, Dwayne Wade telling Melo, these two guys of all people, like, hey, we got to come in and give these guys a different look when our big dogs come out. Talking about Bron and Kobe. And it's like, you one of the big dogs, bro. To most people, like Dwayne Wade, like, when these boys come out, we got to come get him a different look. So Wade, like, in a way, like, the guys really had to put their pride to the side to be like, to play with the team that they had, you know? And so I think the whole thing was great. I think it's great how Kobe came in and was a leader, but he let Braun also lead. Like him and Braun was like leading in two different ways, but they both, they still came together and provided what the team needed. And I already know you probably gonna get into Kobe and his whole thing, but the whole thing as a whole, bro, just it's a great story, man. I enjoyed it. What about you?
Yeah, it was a good doc. I was a little more privy and aware of certain stuff because I grew up. That was really like the first Olympics I really got to really understand and watch because that was honestly, in my opinion, I think that was one of the best Olympics like period. And I'm still young to be saying that, but you got to think in 2008 Beijing year, that was the Redeem team coming back. That was Michael Phelps going stupid. That was like the first of Michael Phelps really dominating, becoming Michael Phelps. Like that's when he took off and he was like God level. Like that's when he became GOAT status, Mount Rushmore level of athlete. And that was
Mm,
Usain Bolt year. So we've seen two individual sport athletes take off and just go stupid. That's when NBA said, "Now we're taking back men's basketball. Let's throw our best out there for real, and we taking this back." Women's game they've been killing, so that's just like they just same with the same. Feel me? But that was the first year that for me personally that like we really just like took off and took over. More specifically about the documentary, it gave me similar vibes of this most recent Olympic year team to where the 04 team was most similar to this year, or not this year, but the most recent year's team of uh, the men's basketball Olympic team
mm,
because it felt like I didn't understand why the 04 team was kind of like so weird like that. It was like a bunch of old guys, the AIs, the Steph Marbury's, Tim Duncan. He had a bunch of young guys. It was literally like maybe 10-year vets, somewhere close to that. And then you had another group of like first year guys, like just off their rookie. Yeah, LeBron, Melo, Boozer had like 2 years in, and Wade. So like that
mm.
gap, and I didn't fully understand that and the whys and everything going to it. So that was kind of cool to understand that and like the whole thing about the war and everything. I didn't piece all that together
Yeah,
before
I ain't
watching
think about that.
documentary. Yeah, so I was like, oh, so I ain't really realized that. I just thought it was just dudes kind of just like, then I don't know. I just didn't piece the stuff together. I was like, okay, whatever. I thought it was interesting, something I didn't know. But that's similar to what this most recent year was between COVID, um, guys being injured, and then just the time of being in there. Like it's just like man, I done did 2, 3, 4 years of this. I done got me a couple gold a couple gold medals. It's just like I'm kind of good on it. So it's like we were kind of scrapping for a minute. This guy was out for injury. This guy he was out for COVID. Or this group of guys were out because they just wanted to rest up, whatever. So it's like you kind of not scraping the bottom of the barrel because you still got all star, talented guys, but it's like it's not the guys that we used to sending out there. We a little short-handed on ammunition compared to we ain't coming out with the tanks like we used to. We still come out with
Hmm.
bazookas. You feel me? So it's just like bazookas still do some damage, but it's definitely like that tank. So um, that's
It's
just
good.
kind of what that's kind of what we came out with, and we still won. But it kind of gave me those similar vibes. First off.
Mm,
Um, I think it was interesting to see because I heard stories of guys talking about why the team didn't mesh together and why it didn't fit, and it was kind of more of just like kind of like how you saying, yeah, we throw a whole bunch of talent out there and we just expect to throw talent out and we just go dominate and win. But like you said, it's talent's cool. You need the talent, but team chemistry matters just as much, if not more, than how talented you are. Because we had the most talented team, went out there and got smacked multiple years. So not just Olympics, but FIBA team too. So um, just that understanding that, like you were saying, team chemistry means a lot. Was a dope thing to see. Yeah, it was a good documentary overall. I still have some. I'm gonna save my takes and certain takes for a minute. A little later, but um, but yeah, I now I got more understanding of why the team was kind of a patchwork job for the '04 team and kind of why the '08 team came to be. I have a better understanding of that, man. So that's kind of what I really took away from the first, you know, our first real takeaway with the documentary was just that understanding why we were in the situation and just the vibe going around during that time frame. Because I was maybe 10. around '04, somewhere around there. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. It's about '08. I'm like 14, 15. I'm starting to catch the groove of basketball for real, for real. So okay, now I'm in basketball. I understand more. So it was cool, like finally piece things together and get a better full scope of what was happening around that time. But it was a good documentary overall.
Thanks. And I think it was really like I think it was cool to see like the coaching perspective of it too. I enjoyed that also, like how they was like Jerry Colangelo, and that was his
Colangelo.
name. Colangelo, that's how you say it.
Yeah.
And they put him in charge of it. They was like, yeah, everything he touches turns to gold. He's good at like revamping things. They were talking about how he did the Knicks and like
I think the
something else.
Suns.
Yeah, the Suns. He brought the Suns along, whatever. So
Yeah.
like he's good at like upstarting or restarting things of that nature. And so they put him in charge, and he go get Coach K. Also, didn't know this. Did not know that Coach K was a military guy before he would have
Mm-hmm.
got like full fledged into basketball. I did not know that.
Yep.
But they bring in Coach K to coach the team, and then K comes in 2000. I want to say I think 2000 was his first year coaching the Olympic team, and
I think he was an assistant back with the Dream Team, I want to say, but
mhm.
he became the official head coach in '04. No, '08. I'm lying. He came after they lost in '04. He became like the official because that's when they cleaned up the system and everything. So like, after '04. I don't know exactly, but
Okay.
after '04.
That's yeah. So I didn't know that. I thought that was cool to see that side of it. Like you never really think about the behind the scenes of Olympic basketball. You kind of I don't know about y'all, but I always kind of just think like it's probably just a group of dudes in a room and they like got a big board of the best NBA players and they're like, all right, obviously we're gonna call LeBron, we're gonna call D Wade, we're gonna call Melo, whatever. And then they're like, okay, let's see who else we need to put around them. Let's get this guy a call. Let's get this guy a call. That's kind of how I think about it. But nah, in reality, them boys was like they were locked in from the beginning, and then they start. I didn't realize that they started working out every summer so they could develop chemistry with each other,
Mm-hmm.
which also explains how guys like LeBron want to team up with D Wade and Bosh. You know how they all team up together
I'm
because
surprised they
it's
talk
like,
about that.
yeah, I guess they probably try to keep it all Olympic basketball rather than just talking so much about the NBA. But that explains why stuff like that happens because these boys spent a month, like they said, they spent like a month in Vegas on like just practicing Olympic basketball and stuff. Like all them
Mm-hmm.
guys coming together to work out and practice for a month every summer, and I didn't realize that was going on. So they developing their chemistry like in the off season for 4 years straight, preparing for 4 years down the line. Like, hey, this the
Mm-hmm.
team. We might add or lose here and there depending on what happens. You never know. Somebody might get hurt. Somebody might decide not to play, whatever. But as of right now, this the team. And
Mm-hmm.
they took that for 4 years running and played with them same guys. I think that's real cool, man. Like to just grind it out and practice with guys to develop chemistry for something that ain't in the near future. Like these boys enemies. You know what I'm saying? Like these
Yeah,
boys
yeah.
play each other every season. They playing each other. Like think about it from 2004 to 2008. Wade won a championship. Uh, who else? The Spurs won one. None of the Spurs players was on that dream team. I mean, I was on the redeem team. So who else? Let me think. Let me think. In that time, Melo and them played each other. Melo and Kobe played each other in the playoffs. Um, these are some. Chris Paul and Darren Williams was on the team. Wait, no, my bad. Yeah, Darren Williams, my fault. Chris Paul and
You good?
Darren Williams. This is a time where they was like competing for the best point guard in the league spot technically, and then this is also a time Bron was coming along, and like they mentioned that too. That when they put Kobe on the team, they like everybody basically saying who the best player in the league is, LeBron or is it Kobe? And is that whatever. There's a whole dynamic going on. So these are guys that are really actually competing every season. And then even as that's going on every summer, they put that to the side and they come together and they practice for like a good month. So I thought that was all real cool to see the behind the scenes of everything. Like, how did this really come together? Are these just guys we threw together and they practiced for a couple weeks and then they went and played? Or like, because that's kind of, I feel like that's kind of what I was thinking in the past, when I was younger, like this probably just some guys they threw together. They practiced probably about like a month before it started, a month and a half, and then they took off to Beijing and won. But nah, this was 4 years in the making. Like y'all, they was like y'all gonna have to commit to this. Like every summer, we grinding it out, developing chemistry, learning how to play international basketball because the rules are different and things like that. I thought like all that stuff, man. I loved all of it. It's cool to just see like how it all came together.
Yeah, I think the behind the scenes is interesting too, just because um like they thought in '04, we had to figure no, they thought in '06 we kinda had to figure it out because that was the FIBA year. They're
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, we kind of got to figure it out. We're gonna start here and just get the roll going, whatever. We're ready. Like LeBron said, they went again and lost again to who was it? Because it was a Carlos Arroyo team, Puerto Rico. They lost to Puerto Rico,
Mm.
and they was like, "Nah, we still ain't ready because we ain't got this and this." And that's the D was like when we getting killed by the high pick and roll. That's all we was doing in NBA. So why we getting killed by the high pick and roll? That's what we do. So it's like obviously we're not ready yet. So, but it was just kind of cool to like really see like the. I'm not like I'm kind of a nerd for that. So like the behind the scenes stuff. I kind of like the strategy and game plan behind all that. So it was just interesting to see how Colangelo really thought about it because he was like the biggest gap still to this day is the fact that these guys are growing up together. 16U, 17U, like these dudes. Like that's why sometimes like Pau Gasol when he didn't get an NBA contract, he just went back overseas and went back to hoop for his country team because there's nothing for him. Like he's hey, y'all got a spot for him, bro. You Pau Gasol, come on, bro. Like what you talking about, bro? You know you good. Like who you want to cut off, bro? We let you got that type of pool. Like who you want to cut off with? We got you, bro. Like it's Dirk, you hooping, bro. All right, we got a spot for you, bro. Like you good. Like it's nothing. So that type of chemistry, I understand they have for the home team. I'm pretty sure the same thing would happen if it was vice versa, to where uh if we're in the same similar situation to where LeBron, let me get it like Joel Embiid is a perfect example because they're talking about him picking up for Team USA. So let's say Embiid wanted to play overseas or something, and then we love him so much back over here, we just like Embiid pick up the phone. Yeah, you got a spot for me, bro? What? We will cut such and such in a heartbeat, bro. Come on, Joel. Like we got you. Like it's that simple. So it's just interesting to see, like you said, the game plan behind it and how they really broke down because we like what's killing us isn't talent. We had the most talented players, but the chemistry and them guys being adjusted to the rules and the game, the feel of the game, all that stuff is different. So them going through all that was interesting to see too. Um, One thing I'm going to kind of say I didn't like for me personally, maybe it's just me being biased,
Mm.
um, of being like the nerd that I am. I would like to have heard from Michael Red. I would like to have heard from Tayshaun Prince a little more. Like I think it was mainly revolved around the Banana Boat crew, sprinkling some Dwight and Carlos Boozer. Like I would love to have heard from the other guys around it and not just the primary guy. Maybe it's just they didn't have access. Maybe they didn't pick up the phone, whatever. But I would have loved to have heard from all 12 guys
I feel
as much
that
as
though.
possible. Because it's cool to hear how D Wade, Bron, Kobe, Melo. It's cool. Like CP, that's cool. But sometimes it's just a different perspective that you get from like a role guy. Like, what did Tayshaun Prince really have to say about that? Like, man, they called me. Like, who? Like, you didn't call him. Like, you called me over him. It's the right number. Like, you're playing. Right? I love to like hear that side of it too, because sometimes we get too caught up in like that guy. And I'm not trying to knock in them guys. I'm a D Wade fan, Kobe fan. I'm a CP guy. I love them guys, but it's just a different perspective of seeing the sidekicks and like I don't want to only hear Batman story. Sometimes throw it to Robin too. Throw him a little lob. You feel me? Like give me a little something over here too. But I would love to have heard their perspective on that. Uh, and I kind of wish they went just a little bit deeper into certain stories or stuff. I can't think about it right now, but I wish they went like a level deeper. They're just one level deeper of like why Coach K? Who else was on the board besides Coach K? Like he was an interesting pick, but why you pick a college guy for these pro guys? Because that was an interesting thought. They didn't really go into that for real, for real. Just because he had a
Mm.
military background was the only reason they really gave. And Dean Smith said he co-signed him. I'm like, why not Pop? He's in the NBA. Pat Riley,
Already won championships.
he's already won championships. He's established. Pat Riley is one of those guys. Uh, it's more not trying to knock Coach K. I want to understand more of why and who else was on the board. Consideration of like, you know what I mean. So it's an interesting thought to have. It's just like, why didn't they go into that one? Like, so um, obviously turned out well, so you can't complain too much at all. But it's just an interesting thought of like, well, why Coach K? Why are you picking a college guy to come up to a pro level? Not even pro level for real, Olympic level. You skipping levels,
Skip
bro.
Pro
You
International.
forget that, brother. Let's go take the pro guys and just root them up and put them on international. So you're gonna cross seas. Like what? So that's interesting to see, man. So I just kind of wish they would have like went a little bit deeper into certain stuff like that. Got more of the role guys' thoughts on it. Maybe they didn't pick up the phone, but I don't know. And I wish we would have got deeper into Coach Kane, why they picked him, and more of the understanding of who else was in contention for that position. But that's just nitpicking, basketball nerd to me. But that's kind of one of the few things I wish they kind of would have picked up on some.
I feel that though. I kind of wish they had dove deeper into the young Bron, young Melo, and them young deal. I can't lie. The young version of them makes me laugh.
Oh yeah,
Like just like the young version of them. Like I don't know what it is, but they are funny to me. And I remember this. I was talking to my teammate about this the other day. Cause they was talking about how they got Bron, Melo, and Wade and them to come in. They was young bucks in 2004. They just got drafted in 2003, so they just got out their rookie season, and now they playing in the Olympics. And they weren't playing, like they wasn't getting in. And you kind of not think about Bron and Melo and them guys not playing. You never really think about that, but them boys was not playing, and they lost and got the bronze medal. And they had that clip of Melo. They like, Carmelo, what happened out there? And Melo like, shoot, I don't know. I went out there.
yep.
I went out there. I said, dang, Melo, that was not the right answer.
Nope, but he didn't care.
He ain't care, but that's that young mind in him. Because I know plenty of the guys around there played with in college and stuff would have said some stuff like that. Man, what
Mhm.
happened? Sure, I don't know. I was out there. I went out there. I was watching just like y'all. That's the kind of attitude he had. And I'm like, dang, boy, you really was like 19, 20. He
Yep.
had the baby face and everything. You could tell
Yep.
you shit young.
Yep.
Man, that joke makes me laugh. And then they were talking about that side for Bron, and Bron was like, I remember after that, man, I remember thinking like, man, this was a waste of my
Yep.
time. Like that's crazy to me. I love stuff like that. Like, dang, bro, you was a young buck at one time. Like, when he was in Cleveland, he was a star. I was a Melo the star in Denver in their rookie year. Same thing for Wade. But you just never think about like guys like that being in any place where they not playing. And them boys were not seeing no playing time for real. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, that's crazy. And then another thing that I like was like when they was talking about Kobe, when they finally got Kobe to come in, it was like this is big for Kobe because it was like Kobe was going through like a time right there. Like he was
Yeah.
like everybody like folks in the league got this bad image of him, and it was like like it was like the stigma around him was that he was selfish. He pushed Shaq away, all that good stuff. He was a one man show, doesn't want to share, doesn't play well with others. So he had that kind of stigma around him. And they talked about how he demanded a trade from the Lakers at one point that a lot of people don't really talk about, don't really bring up. Like at one point in time, he was trying to get away from the Lakers,
Mm-hmm.
and so it really was like something I enjoyed to see that too. Like Kobe Bryant was like frustrated with the Lakers. He was like looking for a fresh start, wanted to go somewhere else. And the Olympic, you don't think about it like that, but the Olympic team gave him a way to like show that he could play with a team, like he could play with other guys. And so um they bring him in and like help us help you type stuff. Like you come play for us, of course we use your talent, all that, and your leadership more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And this will give you an opportunity to show people that you can play with other stars. You can play with another guy. You can play with a LeBron. You can play with a Melo. You can play with a D Wade. You know, and like you're not a selfish player. You're not a selfish guy. You're not a one man show. And so I never realized all of that background information when it actually was going on. But it's cool to see that though. And Kobe proved it. He like Cole comes in, he himself, like they talking about he standoffish, he don't really kick it with nobody, don't really fool with the guys, you know. But him leading by example still like drew people toward him. And like, we'll get into that too, how the guys kind of conform to Kobe's schedule and like start putting in the work that he was putting in. And so I thought all of that was cool. I never thought about no stuff like that. Like the Olympic team really probably was big for Kobe in a way, bigger for him, big just as big for him as it was for the guys playing with him. And so I enjoyed all that, man. It's cool to see that side of Kobe, like, because you never really think about Kobe. Like they said, Kobe don't have no friends. They even said it. And so it's cool to see. Like I feel like that Olympic team probably made him soften up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I can kick it with these guys and still put the work in. I can be with these guys and like even though I might not be the number one player every day or every night out that we play, I feel like he probably learned something in that experience as well. So I thought that was real cool to see.
Yeah, like the whole dynamic of Kobe. Because once again, I knew this stuff, but I didn't always piece things together. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like it's just like, yeah, Kobe had his issues from like '06 till '08. Like I was just kind of like, okay, cool. But I didn't piece it together with the whole Redeem team. So I'm just like, well, Kobe's an obvious call. Like it's Kobe. What you
Yeah,
mean?
right.
Like I think he just came off his MVP year too. So or the years it was around the time it was
No,
MVP
I was
Kobe.
gonna get into that too, but he actually won MVP the next year after
Yeah.
that. Like that was
So
no, I'm sorry. He won the championship the next year after that. He won MVP like a year ago or 2 years ago.
so it's right around. I know it's right
Mm,
end of the year he finally won MVP.
right.
But yeah, the whole Kobe and that was so interesting to see, especially me being a Kobe guy. That's my guy. And like I don't know what the biggest thing I take away from just that whole storyline with him. I'll, I'll say this. As soon as I saw that jump, when it was him and Bron sitting on the couch and they was kind of talking and stuff, and they was talking about how Kobe was saying how LeBron's more goofy, he's gonna talk and stuff. His leadership is way more vocal. Kobe's, I don't say nothing. I just like laugh because I was like, and that sounds like me, bro. Like,
Right? No, like I just had to put the work in, do what I gotta do,
and I
go
go home.
home.
Like all that little stuff in the middle, it's cool, but that ain't me. You feel me? So, and I immediately text my homeboy. I was like, bro, that sounds just like me and you, bro. Like he's more like LeBron. He's gonna laugh and get everybody. He's more of a team guy, like LeBron through and through, like on the floor and off the floor. He's about team, about everybody, about the family, everybody come together. And I'm always like, bro, whatever need to get the business done, like whatever it gets from A to Z, whether it's I'm dragging you, I'm kicking you off the boat, whether it's nice, whether it's mean, whatever. I'll go along if I got to, bro. I'm just not gonna sit here and be patting you on the back and stuff, whatever. And it's just like, but they work well together because like, uh, we kind of talked about this before, where it's like you got the daddy on the team, you got the mom on the team, and it's like daddy coming through whipping everybody butt, and it's just like he ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. Mama come behind and be like, oh, that's okay, baby. You know, daddy just, got discipline you, whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the dynamic that they had. And I'm not as, as demanding as a Kobe, but I do have some of that, like just, you know, this way or no way type of mindset with stuff. And I'm learning to get better. I'm trying to be more of the 24 Kobe when, he had Powell and Lamar Odom and D Fish. I'm trying to be more of that guy, But I text him a meeting. I'm like, bro, me and you just like Kobe and Bron, because I don't be saying nothing, bro. I'm here for the work and I keep it pushing. But I realized I need a LeBron with me. I need somebody who's gonna be more extroverted, more talk to people. That's why me and you work so well, because I'm more Kobe, you're more like LeBron. You're gonna talk to people, you're gonna be, a little more animated, goofy, joking and stuff. Not that I'm not, joking and stuff. Not that I'm so serious, but you just
You're the
way
more
more than
serious
me.
counterpart. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you comparing us, obviously I'm the serious guy, but I joke and laugh in my own way. That's just like like I'm more straight to the point. I'm more factual. I'm more black and white. If you was more colorful and everything, so I'm like I always need to be intentional having LeBron with me. So that's one of the funniest things I took away from that chunk. And it's just like
Facts.
after that, you start to see how Kobe opened up, and he was just kind of more of like, uh, really become more one of the guys on the team rather than just like Kobe in the USA team. It was like all of everybody under the USA team branch. So I think that was cool to see, and just how he conformed to them, but they conformed to him too. Like you said, y'all went partying. All right, cool. I'm gonna catch y'all in the weight room, bro. Like everybody, like, wait, what? Is he for
That
real?
that's the funniest story out the whole doc. Them boys coming back from the club. They just coming back from the club. Kobe downstairs swing with workout clothes on. I'm
Yep.
like, where you going? Going to the weight room. I said, boy, I know I would have been blown. Like, the weight room. And they said they
Yep.
got on the elevator talking about
Y'all
what?
for real? Like, y'all saw that? Like,
Y'all heard
wait, what?
him? They, wow. I thought that
Yeah.
was crazy. I can't lie, because I know I'd have been the same way. If I'm in the lock, if I mean we didn't got in the elevator, I would sure be like, he just said weight room, right? Weight room? That what he said? That's
Yep.
crazy. But that's so Kobe. That's the Kobe that we've heard so much about.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Kobe stories. I love MJ stories. Just to like hear how them guys were as people and as players and teammates and stuff. That just like confirms it. And it's the fact that all of them got that story. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
you got 9, 10 guys that got that same story about Kobe, about them coming back from the club. They talking about how lit the club was. It was so much fun. It was a great night. They come back, Kobe coming to the weight room at
Mm-hmm.
like 5 o'clock in the morning. And then, but that rubbed off on those guys. And then they start doing stuff like that. They said they all kind of conform to Kobe's schedule. And then another funny part of the show, they
Mellow.
doggone Mello. Talking about some, but I wasn't finna get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, bro. That's just
Nah,
too
you
early.
tripping. This too early, bro. You tripping.
That's too early. I feel it though, Mello. Hey, Mello, I feel it. I
That's
feel it
funny.
though. No talking about they got up like 4 o'clock in the morning. They lifting at 5, eat breakfast, go to practice, eat again, like getting
Yeah.
on just a tight workout like schedule on a regimen.
Yeah.
And so that leads me to another thing that I wanted to get into. I actually saw this on Twitter, but I didn't realize they didn't really bring it up. I saw this on Twitter the other day after, like the day after I watched it, because I watched it the day it came out.
Mm-hmm.
But the next day I'm scrolling through Twitter, kind of just seeing what people saying about it. And a guy says, the guy was like, they didn't really they was like they got to give Kobe his respect, and how he inspired those guys and what he did for them. Because the year after that, 2009, like they was like that what they believe what he basically saying what Kobe did for those guys is underrated because it carried on past the Olympic team. Like he
I
was
was
like
just
that.
gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was never gonna piece that together, but after that 2008 Olympic team, that season, that 2008-2009 season, was Bron first MVP. Chris Paul had a better year. D Wade had a better year after coming from his injury. He had a good year. Um, and Kobe won a championship that next year. And so it just was one of them things like, man, like we may never really, really know, but you can kind of see like what Kobe did for them guys meant something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure like what they did for him meant something also. Cause like you said, like we mentioned earlier, it's like Kobe not opening up the teammates, not really letting nobody in, just kind of doing his own thing, being standoffish, is probably in some ways a hindrance to his team. Like their best
Mm-hmm.
player, their leader, they feel like he disconnected from them. He don't have no
Yeah.
friends. And so I feel like that probably helped him in a lot of ways. Like probably especially with a guy like Pau Gasol and those guys, like bringing them along. Ron Artest, like he got these personalities on this team, and they probably feel like Like Kobe ain't a part of them. It's just Kobe and
Mm-hmm.
then the rest of us. And
Yeah.
so the year after that, they win a championship. I feel like that can't be underrated either.
Mm-hmm.
And so what those guys did for each other, what Kobe did for them, what they did for Kobe, and like how their careers shook out from that point on, I feel like it can't be underrated. So I thought that was like a real cool thing that I would have never thought about. Like, man, Olympic basketball only happens every 4 years, but this was one of the years that was like that may have changed the trajectory of a lot of guys' career. And like we'll never know, obviously, but
Yeah.
it can be said that like Kobe like helped put LeBron into that space, like projected LeBron into what it would take for him to become an MVP. Help project CP3 because CP3 was young at this point. I want to say he was only like in his third or fourth year in the league, something like that. Because he didn't get drafted with Bron in them, but he was still young in the league, and like Kobe, like all the guys got all this respect for Kobe. So like you just never know what kind of real impact Kobe had on those guys. And the impact the team as a whole had on Kobe in his career, because like you said, them guys talking about like what kind of guy that the stigma around him, and they helped remove that stigma. And so I just think all of that, man, is man warms my heart, warms my heart to see.
Yeah. I was literally thinking about that as we were talking. But I'm gonna go even one level deeper than that of how Kobe impacted not just Olympic but basketball, like the way the pro game is right now. Right.
Mm,
So uh oh excuse me.
mm,
Excuse me. Ooh, that water hitting. But nah, so like we talked about the story of Kobe working out, 4 a.m., right?
yep.
Players were working out and stuff, so it wasn't abnormal to be working out. But of course, his psychotic basketball mind was like, I'm gonna work out 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6, whatever the time was at that time. And they were just like, hold on, bro, you working out now? All right, cool. So starting with Kobe, I wish I could have like a diagram. Started with Kobe working out here. That trickled down to D Wade, Bron. The next two, like it's like it was Kobe, Bron, and D Wade as the guys. Like it was the top three. I think D Wade said like it was the debate of who's the best guy in the league between those three. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. Like
Mm,
it's one of them three, you know. And it trickled down from those three to CP, Melo, so on and so forth. Of the best guys working out, having that work ethic. And so first off, Kobe made it more of a thing to be in the weight room. Like it was already a thing, but he really made it a thing for real, for real. To where now you see guys working out before a game, like literally hours before the game, after the game. Like that really became a thing after Kobe. Like that ripple effect became so big to where now it's like this man's been retired for how many years now, and he's passed a few years ago. Like, but that I don't know if that, like you said, we can't 100% contribute to him, but you got to give some flower. Like it's a big bouquet. He deserves some of the flowers in that bouquet of the after effect of working out and stuff. Then like you more of what you were saying is like the whole Olympic effect really became more of a thing. Me personally, I have to say after that '08 year because the whole Olympic juicing of that extra boost you get from being in the Olympic team started to become a thing after '08 because you start seeing players every year from '08, like you said. That's the year he won MVP. That's the year he won the championship. That's the year CP got better. Wade got even better. From 12, you start seeing players play after that. From 16, like every year after Olympic team, you start seeing players, their game just jump up another level because you can't help but get better if nothing but lions around you, bro. Like you're gonna have to figure out something. So if you swim in the pool with sharks, you gonna come out better when you start going back to these little dolphins. Like it's just like, bro, it's a whole different game over here now. Like so every day you got ones between Melo, KD, and Kobe. What you mean? Like you Jimmy Butler, Paul George are going head to head the whole time. Like you got no option but to get better after that because it's either eat or get eaten. So it's like the
mm,
ripple effect of being around that level of talent. Like it's very hard to get that level of talent in one room, besides All Star Weekend. But to still be in it, like you ain't even fully in killer mode. But to tap in killer mode, all in it like this same span, oh man, you gotta trust Bud to get better. So like Kobe brought another level of intensity to that, which he does with anything he's a part of. Is like you're gonna be urgent and intense playing with Kobe Bryant. So that ripple effect has happened because now, the year after that, the guys brought that same, like they brought that Kobe mentality, the Mamba mentality to the 2012 team. And the 2012
Mhm.
team brought that to the 16 team. 16 brought that 20. So it's just ripple effect of Kobe jumping in, doing that thing, man. So we don't fully know. I don't think we ever fully, I don't think anybody will fully know to just be like, yeah, Kobe did that. Like nobody really knows. But you have to give him some level of flowers to be like, dudes working out in the weight room became more of a thing because of Kobe. No, I forget that. I think it became a thing because of LeBron, but LeBron probably wouldn't have took it as serious if it wasn't for that experience seeing Kobe. So yeah, LeBron is the guy spending $1 billion on his body a year, whatever. Cool, but his mindset might not have been like that as urgent if it wasn't for Kobe. You know what I mean? And he probably wouldn't have the same mindset to do certain things if it wasn't for Kobe. So I just feel like we gotta like that really put things more into perspective. Is like the ripple effect that Kobe had on the league. It's like it's more than just his style of play and like the work hard and to do all that stuff and the footwork and the details. This man really had an impact on the game. Like this man
Oh
like
yeah,
truly had like that level. I didn't think about it till the documentary came. I'm just like, that's crazy how that he really implemented those two things. Like I don't know if we can fully credit him, but we can. We're about to right here. We giving Kobe that respect for doing those two things, in my opinion. So that's just crazy to think about. But like Kobe really made the weight room just as valuable as your skill game, and to be more conscious of that, and also ripple effect of being better after Olympics. It's just like it's just crazy, bro, to think about, man. But the Kobe effect is bigger than what we even thought, man. So
it really
giving some
is.
more flowers to Kobe.
And like, not to make the whole episode about Kobe, but it's guys still. I remember they talked about this before a game, not out. That's not long after he had passed or whatever. Um, they was talking about like his effect on the league or whatever, and a lot of the guys that he played with when they were young, because his last few years in the league, the Lakers were bad. And the young guys that was still there at that time, like Julius Randle was still there. I think Julius Randle was there on the tail end of his career.
Yep.
Um, I'm not sure about Brandon Ingram. No, I don't think Brandon Ingram was there. But
I don't know.
couple of the young guys that was there in the tail end of his career. Uh, I remember they was talking about how he made it a thing to where whatever on away games when they fly, wherever they land, whatever time they landed, he would go shoot or go work out, whatever. Like it didn't matter what time they landed or what city they was in. He would make sure that somebody on the team would get a gym for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he might be in a high school gym, he might be in a college gym, whatever. But somebody had to make sure a gym was open, and he would just go work out like fresh off the plane because they planned the next day. So he whatever time he landed, that's what time he was going. And so now guys in the league still do that. And
Mm-hmm.
then those guys got like, inspire other guys. Like they just started doing it because Kobe was doing it. They was like, oh well shoot, if Kobe doing it, you
Yeah.
feel me? This must be a formula, Because
Yeah.
you need to do, that's like that's something you need to be willing to do. You got to be a sponge to the guys around you, especially when you're around greatness like Kobe. And this tail end his career, so they know him. They know what he did.
Mm-hmm.
They got all this respect for him, and they come in. It's like, oh well, every time we land, Kobe going to work out. So shoot, it must be something to it. Like he ain't doing it for nothing. And so they start doing it, and now they all on different teams, and now they're still doing it, and like guys are doing it because they are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for certain they said Julius Randle does that,
Yep.
but
That's
I
what
can't
said.
really, yeah, I can't remember who all like what other guys may have been doing it, or what that they mentioned, but they was like they basically said that's like the Mamba effect, like
Mm-hmm.
stuff he did inspired others, like same way he inspired people that ain't never played NBA basketball,
Mm-hmm.
like the Mamba mentality and the work ethic, the things of that nature that he brought every night inspired others, and like they still do it. So there's no doubt in my mind he inspired those guys, and helped their careers inadvertently. Like, who knows? I'm sure those guys would have still been who they are, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Kobe definitely propelled them in the right direction. Like, this is something that I do that I know has brought me success. And he might not have came out and said it, but him doing it and him being who he is, at that, like in 2008, he already had the three-peat with Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shaq gone, he get his own player. He got all the respect he need in the league. Everybody know about Kobe at this point in time. So he got all this respect. So he don't really have to say it with words, but his actions let people know, like, oh, he doing this every day. This must be like the secret. This must be something to him. What makes him
Mm-hmm.
Kobe? And then they just take that and they go on with it. Like, okay, if this is what he does, I'm finna go with it. You know what I'm saying? I know this must bring him success. So if I
Mm-hmm.
want to be successful, I'm with it. And
Yeah.
so, man, like you said, you gotta give that man his flowers. While he, I hate that he ain't around to see it and to, like, because people talking about him now, like people saying it,
Mm-hmm.
bringing up what he did for guys like LeBron, Wade, Melo, Carlos Boozer, Chris Paul, like they
Mm-hmm.
talking about what he did for them guys, and
Yeah.
so it's just one of them things, man. Like, it's great, man. It's cool to see.
Yeah. That's one of the things that always bother me when seeing stuff about Kobe. I feel the same way about Nipsey too. It's just like I watch interviews and stuff for them, or just documented like this or whatever, and it's just like, man, I just can't wait to see what they do next. I'm just like, oh wait, dang,
Yeah,
and it just hit me for me. I was like, dang, man, like, dang, it put me back in
it's
that place I was when I found out when I heard the news. I'm just like, this can't be real, bro. Like, man, I wonder what Kobe would say about, oh man, ah, man,
that's
I
all we
wonder what,
can do.
you know what I mean? It's just like, dang, it just put me back in that place sometimes when I watched it. So hearing him speak again, it almost felt like he was part of the documentary. I love the way they did it because it felt like he was part of the documentary too, even
Mm-hmm.
though obviously he wasn't. And so it was just a bittersweet thing to see that, man, and it's just um, I love that. The one thing and I'm not, like I said, not to make this about Kobe, but the one thing I will say that gave me a lot of I guess peace about him passing is that he got his flowers. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he was fully aware of that, how much love the world has for him. You know what I mean? Like, of course, you never get all your flowers, but that's one of the few people I feel like got at least most of his flowers before he died. You know what I mean? So that's when that kind of give me peace about in his passing. Like, yo, we can really sit back and say like he felt all the love that we had for him before he was, before it's left for him to get him. So that's one thing I will say about him that I can like smile about at least. And the fact that his wife doing fine, girls doing fine and stuff is just like they smile and everything. So it's all that really matters at this point, man. If they good, we good. So um yeah, that's it for Kobe, man. We this ain't the Kobe documentary, man. But back to the Redeem team, man. I'm gonna give a semi hot take. I don't think this is really a hot take. I feel like a lot of older heads will agree with me here.
Okay.
Looking back at the roster, we're gonna get to this one day too. Looking back at the roster, the Redeem team is overrated.
Overrated?
It's overrated. It's overrated, bro. Like
You mean like the team, like the full, like 12-man
the
roster?
full 12-man roster, overrated.
Okay, let's look at the roster. Let me
Let's
let's
run the
get through.
roster down. I hate to do it so late, but let's run the roster down. Okay,
Oh,
let me
okay,
try.
we good.
So they're very top heavy. Let me find the roster real quick. I found it.
All right, I got it.
All right, that's 2012, bro. I want 08. What are you doing? Oh, why you doing this to me, Google? All right, cool. Oh wait. All right. Okay, here's the roster. So you got Carlos Boozer, Jason Kidd, LeBron James, Darren Williams, Michael Redd, D Wade, Kobe, Dwight Howard, Chris Bosh, Chris Paul, Tayshaun Prince, Carmelo Anthony. Okay, looking at this roster, they're very top heavy. I believe the first five was Kid, Kobe, Bron, Melo, and Dwight. That's the first
Hmm.
five. Okay. You compare that to the 92 team where let me just throw the roster out here for 92 team. Okay. I was thinking about this like this whole week. So if you look at the 92 roster, everybody let's throw Chris Layton off there. Like that's just forget about
No,
him.
he on there. He on there. Michael
Okay.
Red on there.
Keep okay, cool. Keep him on there. Keep him on there. Everybody else on that roster is at minimum top 10 at their position all time. All time. Every like 1 through 11, top 10 in their position. Worst case is 10. If you want to go, you can nitpick and say top 5 if you really want to, but nobody's throwing like David Robinson and Patrick Ewing top 5 centers out there. They're top 10. Like this, it's Shaq, Kareem, whoever.
Okay.
Chris Mullin might be one of the other weaker players, but he's still like 2 guard, three. He's still top 10. You know, he's in that discussion. I don't know how deep we go, but he's arguably top 10.
Okay.
Stockton, he's a top 5 to 10 point guard. Some people throw him top 3. Like, who else are you really putting that discussion on the '08 team? Like Michael Redd, love him. You're not top 10, bro. Like he's a great shooter. Love him. Boozer, you're a solid big during our time. Um, Tayshaun Prince, love you too, my boy. Like I respect your game.
Look, you too.
You're not on that category, bro. I believe that too. So when we talk about who would win 92 versus '08, stop it. Like I used to be kind of fight it, but let's stop it, bro. Let's stop it. They're top
Okay.
heavy. The '08 team is very top heavy because you got the next two greatest shooting guards in the game on the same team. You have the third best shooting guard all time coming off the bench. Like, come on, bro. That's your 6 man. Leading scorer, like 6 man. Cool. Now, granted, and I will go throw you one more caveat. Larry Bird and Magic were not the Magic and Bird that we know and love to
Just getting
adore.
ready to say that.
But Magic was still playing pretty decent. Okay. So here's the thing. If you throw next five in, the second five, you take the starting five out for both teams. The second five, 92 is whooping '08's butt. Like they kicking him out the gym. I don't even know who the second five was, bro. But I will guarantee you that the '08 team is getting smacked. Like I love D Wade, but your next five is going to be young CP3. I ain't talking about all time CP3. Young CP3, D Wade, um, probably Prince, Boozer, and let's throw D Will on there, for the heck of it. Because I don't really know. But maybe Michael Redd. Like, that's your next five? Really? You going against Patrick Ewing or David Robson at the five. I don't remember if Chuck was starting or not, but now when Chuck, he was starting. Who was the other four? Was it
It
Karl
was
Malone?
yeah, Karl Malone.
So Karl Malone coming off the bench too.
I think the starting
Uh,
lineup was Magic, Jordan, Pippen,
mm-hmm.
uh
Barkley.
Charles, yeah, and then I think David Robinson.
Let me
So
pull up the
that put
92 thing.
I got the team in front of me, but it don't say starters and nothing like that. But yeah, because Charles Barkley led the team in scoring, so I know he started.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like Chuck, Jordan. Oh wait, hold on. There we go.
So I think starting five was Magic, Jordan, Pip, Charles Barkley, and David Robinson. That's more than likely starting five. So your next five coming off the bench is going to be John Stockton. Let's throw Clyde at the 2. Let's throw Bird at
Mullen.
the 3. No, I'll take Bird off. Let's throw Chris Mullin at the 3, Karl Malone at the 4, and Patrick Ewing at the 5. So you got John Stockton, Clyde Drexler, Chris Mullin, uh, Karl Malone, and Patrick Ewing as your next five. John Stockton talking about arguably top 3 point guard. Drexler probably the second best shooting guard of that era between him and Reggie Miller. If you want to debate that, who would I say? Chris Mullin, one of the deadliest snipers of all time, arguably top 10 small forward. That can be a debate. I'm not trying to get into that right now. Karl Malone, the second all-time leading scorer. Well, he was, but whatever. LeBron took that. And then Patrick Ewing, who is the a top 10 center all time. Like, come on, bro. Like, they're smacking that next team to sleep. Like, it's nasty how bad that beatdown would be. Like, so I love them. I don't even know that they're the second best Olympic team. I think the 96 team might be better than them. I don't know. I look at the 96 team. I have to look back at it. But that's just kind of my hot take. There might need to be a whole other episode. But that's just like one thought I had after that. I'm just like, I'm looking at the rest of that roster. I'm like, they're top heavy. First five, it'll be a good fight. The first five, I'll give you that.
Oh yeah.
That bench is where it start getting iffy. They get if you could minimize the roster to go like 8 deep, then you can start having a good conversation, a good fight for who could win. But you got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You take off two of the next couple guys. You take off Bird and Chris Leitner on that 92 team. They still smacking other team. So that's just kind of my hot take. I feel like the 08 team was a
Okay.
little.
Okay, but if you take off Bird and Leitner for
Mhm.
2008, take off Prince and Red, Michael Red, Tayshaun Prince. You still got Darren Williams, CP3, Wade, Bosch, and Boozer coming off the bench.
But you got young CP3 and young D Will. It's not point guard still. That's young CP.
I feel like he was still like he's still getting off. Like at that point in time, he's still getting off. Like
It
I
ain't the
don't know.
same, bro. It's still young CP.
I feel it though. I feel that.
And I'm a
But
CP guy, so I'm not trying to. I'm definitely not biased by saying this, but it's young. That was like CP's. I think he drafted in 05, I think. So that's his third
so
year in the league.
3 young league.
He was nasty. Don't get me wrong. He was. I remember that year he almost cooked the Spurs by himself. That was like 09. I remember that vividly. He was cooking them boys. He took them to Game 7. I remember young CP, but you're not getting off against that team, bro. Like,
I feel it though. I can't lie. I do think the Dream Team is definitely better than this team. But since we talking about it, I know this ain't the episode, but since we talking about it, if I'm finna pick a team, an Olympic team to roll with, give me 2012.
they getting smacked
2012.
too. No.
Nah, hey, we finna get into something.
Okay.
2012. Let me read you the roster for 2012. You got Melo, Kobe. So Melo, Kobe still prime. Melo, Kobe, Tyson Chandler, Anthony Davis, young Anthony Davis, granted, young Anthony Davis. He was drafted in like 2010, something like that. So young Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Andre Iguodala, Bron, Kevin Love, Chris Paul, 4 years older Chris Paul. So now you know this Chris Paul. Like this is CP3. And Russell Westbrook and Darren Williams. Give me that team over any team, any Olympic team in history. I can't lie. I like them over the Dream Team. Just being real. Just being real. Because it's 2012. So 2012, 2013, no, 2011, 2012 was the year OKC had just went to the finals and they lost to the Heat. So that lets you know KD, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook was arriving. KD had arrived. Russ was, on his way. And James Harden was still, James Harden was coming into his own. He wasn't James Harden yet, but he was coming into his own. This Miami Heat LeBron. So, it's debatable what version of LeBron is the best LeBron. But this Miami Heat LeBron, Miami Heat championship winning D Wade. Oh, Wade ain't on the team. I'm sorry. I'm still throwing Wade on there. Wade ain't on the team. But you still got Kobe, who had just won the championship in 2010, went again, and then, won the championship in 2010. So you still prime Kobe. Then you got Tyson Chandler, solid big. Like Tyson Chandler, Patrick Ewing, you feel me? They go head up. Young Anthony Davis. I will give you young Anthony Davis. This ain't prime AD yet. So young Anthony Davis. You still got prime Iggy. Iggy still getting off. He still got that athleticism. Then you got Kevin Love, who was going crazy in Minnesota. The best power forward in the league at the time. And then, I said Russell Westbrook. And then Darren Williams was still good at the time. He was on the backdrop, but he was still good. So I like them boys. And I might be a little biased, obviously, because this is my generation or whatever. Like, these are our guys. But give me them. Because it's like I got I got CP3 for Magic old, and at this point, so he ain't prime Magic Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
But I got CP3. Obviously, CP3 probably ain't guarding Magic because he's too small. But I got CP3 and Magic here, the old Magic. I got Kobe and Jordan. We know
Mm-hmm.
how that go. Then I got Bron and Pip. I like,
Mm-hmm.
you feel me? I like that matchup. Then I got I think Kevin
Mellow.
Love started. No, yeah, Melo
No,
started. Yeah,
mellow.
Melo and Chuck. I like that. Melo might have to scrap a little bit, but that's all right. And then you got Tyson Chandler and David Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
This way gonna get ugly. You feel me? So coming off
Okay.
the bench, John Stockton versus uh they probably went. I think Russell
Darren
Westbrook
Williams.
got more. I think Russell Westbrook played more than Darren Williams at that point in time. Because Russell, I mean, either one. John Stockton, Darren Williams / Russell Westbrook, Clyde Drexler, James Harden, young James Harden. We'll give you young James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who else did we say for the Dream
KD.
Team? Yeah, KD and Bird,
Chris Mullin.
Chris Mullin, KD. I like. Hey, come on, that's a good matchup. K Love and young AD versus Patrick Ewing and who's the fourth
Malone.
man? Malone. Patrick Ewing and Malone.
Mm-hmm.
I think this the matchup for real. This the team we need to be talking about going head up. Like,
No, because
no,
you kept saying young. This is young KD. The only
no.
thing.
KD just came off the finals though. He is KD, Kevin Durant. It ain't nobody but young. I said young AD and young James Harden. They're the only two.
So KD was in year 5 around that time because he got drafted
Mm-hmm.
in 07, 08. So I was about year 4 or 5, something around there. That's
Yeah.
young. That's still young for him.
He just came off a finals run though. So he clearly one of the best players.
He's still young. That what he accomplished did not negate how young he is in the league.
Okay, I give you that.
He's still young like that. I think he was first, then Westbrook, and then Harden. That's the order of what OKC drafted. So the boys are still young. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they weren't good. I'm not saying they didn't accomplish whatever they accomplished. They're still young, relatively young to the league. So Chris Paul grew up. That was around point guard era. I give you that. That was around
Oh,
D Will come around cooking with the triple cross like crazy. I give you that. Now KD still was cooking. Now he was coming into the Ranchula that era. He was cooking. That was around when he was peaking the social standard wise of everybody loved KD. That was around that time because I remember in high school everybody had the KD 7s and you were crazy
everybody
if you
had
didn't have them.
KDs.
Like that was around that era for me. So I'm aware of KD's around that time. Is it a conversation? For sure, it's a conversation. It's something to talk about. But if you want to talk game on game, then of course you're gonna take young Westbrook over John Stockton. You feel me? Like
Mm.
some of this stuff is obvious because it's like the game. You're talking about 20 years later.
Nah,
The
yeah.
game, you know what I mean? It's like it's obviously we're talking about that. But now let's peel back one layer of like who these guys were. So that's what I'm saying. Young KD, young Westbrook. This ain't triple double Westbrook. This is young Westbrook who's still wild, kind of crazy. He just super athletic. He don't know how to play basketball like NBA basketball yet. Not for real, for real. And this young James Harden before he was MVP, 40 points a game in his sleep, step back. Like this before. We just knew he was a really good player. That's all we really knew for real, for real. He could score off the bench. Like he was, you know what I mean? Like that's nasty 3-headed month they had down there.
Mm-hmm.
A young Kevin Love, because he was drafted 07, 08 around that time too. So almost it's a split between the OG vets of the Chris Pauls, Kobe's, Bron and them, and the young guys being groomed in with the KDs, uh Harden, Westbrook. AD was a rookie, so throw him out. He's definitely not in that discussion. Like just stop it. You like the Christian Laettner of this group with more respect. So that's kind of
He
what he
is.
was.
He
So
is.
no disrespect, but you're not in this conversation yet. So um I just feel like the second team still smacks them, bro. Like if you're talking about 1-on-1, then of course the 12 team wins. Like that's just you getting smacked. But once again, If you want to go man to man with that second team, I love Iggy. Love him. Man to man, who is he sticking with? Like, he locking up Clyde? It's a good matchup now, but is he locking up Clyde?
I like Iggy on Clyde. I like Iggy.
That's a
Like
really good matchup. That's a really good
defensive
matchup.
wise, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good matchup. Now flip it. I think that gets kind of ugly on both sides. I'm gonna be real with you. Like I don't know how Clyde defense was, and Iggy's offense was. He wasn't bad. He was a bucket. He could score. I don't. He wasn't a bucket. But he could score.
He can get his.
He could get here, but I don't know how good that matchup is on the other end. So Clyde offense versus Iggy's defense. If you want to talk about how the game has changed or ended, of course I get a nod to the newer generation, but it's still you're talking about guys who are top 10 at their position at the time. Like these are all prime or close to prime guys. These talking about the all-time greats, the top 10 in each position in their prime. This ain't just like a great player talking about in their prime. That's what makes them so great. That's what makes them the greatest team to touch whatever. Like I'm talking about football, basketball, whatever. The greatest team to be assembled, period. Because you're talking about every guy in their prime, minus Bird and Magic. And if Bird back wasn't messing him up, he still could have did some business. Magic was still doing his thing. So even without those two guys, you talking about prime Michael Jordan, prime Pippen, prime Barkley, prime Malone, prime Stockton. Like I don't even want to be one of the people who just gas up the old head stuff. But I'm just like prime everybody.
But you talking about these guys in their prime too. The
That's not in their
2011
prime. These are young
KD,
guys.
KD, first team All NBA. I'm looking at it right now. KD that
Mm-hmm.
2012, first team All NBA. LeBron, first team All NBA. Kobe, first team All NBA. Chris Paul, first team All NBA. Kevin
Mm-hmm.
Love, second team All NBA. Russell Westbrook, second team All NBA. Melo's third team All NBA. Tyson Chandler, third team All NBA. So all them dudes on that team, minus AD and minus AD. Obviously, we knew about AD. And then James Harden was sick. James Harden was sixth man of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So like these boys, that's what I'm trying to say. Like these boys was coming. James Harden ain't in his prime, obviously, because he ain't like NBA All-Star superstar James Harden that he will become. But he ain't gotta be. He's sixth man of the year. He coming off the bench for them. So you talking about sixth man of the year, James Harden. You talking about everybody, just about the whole star line of All NBA plus the whole bench star All NBA. LeBron the best small forward at the time. Kobe best shooting guard at the time. CP the best point guard at the time. K Love the best power forward at the time. Tyson Chandler a solid big, third team All NBA. Russell Westbrook coming off the bench. He's second team All NBA. I get it. He ain't Mr. Triple Double yet, but he coming off the bench. James Harden, sixth man of the year. He coming off the bench. Like, what we talking about? Like, I feel like the matchups is there. Magic, Bird, that 1992 was Bird last year in the league. Well, that next year was his last year in the league. He retired right after that. So it was over for Bird. So we not just gonna throw our names. You feel me? Bird was out of there.
That's what I'm saying. I said that like the Bird wasn't Bird, but whatever. Don't even throw him off of there.
Yeah, but Magic, I give you Magic. He still was doing his thing. Of course, Mike. Of course, Pip. But Mike and Kobe. Hey, I get we put Mike over Kobe, but Mike and Kobe, come on.
They cancel each other out. So it's
that's
kind
what
of
I'm
like
saying. They cancel each other out.
Yeah.
Pip and LeBron. I like LeBron. I get Pip a great defender and all that, but Pip and LeBron, that LeBron taking that one. CP3 at that point in time, Magic at his point in time, I'm probably taking CP3. And then
that's
power
debatable.
forward. Yeah, that's it's debatable, but and then K Love and Charles Barkley.
They ain't stopping each other, so
yeah, they not stopping each other. It's like, shoot, you get what you get. And then Tyson Chandler and David Robinson. So I think David Robinson take that one, obviously. And then off the bench, you talking about KD, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, all teammates. They all play together. And then you still got Iggy. You still got Darren Williams. I think that's straight. I think the matchup's there. Give me them boys in the 7-game series. Let me say that. Give me them in the 7-game series.
I just can't get over them being in their prime. It's like if you're talking about right now, all these guys like career wise right now, hands down, 2012 is smacking through '08, or from you said 12, so they smacking through 2020, 16, uh 8, 4, 2000, 96, 92. They smacking through everybody because these are like all time. Like just think about the names now. Kevin Durant and LeBron James, two mega star. I don't even call them superstars, just mega stars. Kobe Bryant is in that category too. Like this is just ridiculous. Like all time thinking about them. Westbrook
Yeah.
is a top 10 point. I don't care what people say. He's top 10 point guard. Like put some respect on the man name. Triple
Oh
double
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
in his
yeah.
sleep. Like put some respect on his name. D Will, when healthy, he was cooking. That boy was in his bag like stupid. Iggy was a at his best, he would have been a Scottie Pippen without the scoring. That's what I feel like at his prime, at his best of who he was. Kevin Love is top 20 power forward all time. We could have a debate top 15. We could really learn that down of where he is, but just comfortably saying top 20 all time power forward. We talked about how much he's stupid. He was a walking 30 and 20 a game around that time. So this Kevin Love was stupid. James Harden, one of the best scorers all time. Like he ridiculous. Like he's in his bag. Chris Paul, point guard. I think I got him top 5 point guards all time. Anthony Davis, one of the unicorns of our generation. Ridiculous. Like he's it's crazy what he can do when healthy. And then Carmelo Anthony, a top 5 scorer all time. You know, like it's this man is a bucket. He's a what we call him a phone booth scorer. He don't need none but that much room to go score. Like you a bucket, bro. Like he don't need but nothing but a jab and a pump fake to get you moving, bro. Like he's a bucket. So all time, they smacking through everybody. Like forget the 92, forget '08. They run Michael Redd is not handling Tayshaun Prince ain't handling none of that. Bulls ain't handling none of that. Like go to sleep. Cause that's all you getting, bro. Like you just no, stop it. So all time, yes, like on paper, like right now, the 12 teams probably all time. I ain't even look at the 16 roster. I don't think I need to. I ain't look at the 2020 roster. I don't think I need to. You're talking about all time of all time players right now. And I think the 16 had Clay and Steph, so that's I might need to think about that. Now think about that.
No, we don't need to think about it.
Steph, now I gotta pull them up, bro. I was
Hold
trying
on,
to end
I
it, but
got you. I got you. I got you. You said 2016. So that's 2004, 08, 12. 2016. Uh,
so Jimmy
still,
Butler, KD, DeAndre Jordan, Kyle Lowry, Harrison Barnes, DeMar DeRozan, Kyrie, Clay, Boogie, Paul George, Draymond, Melo. No, never mind. 2012 still
yeah,
got that.
I'm gonna say you don't got to look at. Then 2020, you know the 2020 team ain't talking about nothing for real. They won, but like all time wise, nah, they ain't talking about
Nah.
Bam Adebayo, D Book, KD, Jeremy Grant, Draymond, Drew Holiday, Keldon Johnson, Zach Levine, Dame Lillard, JaVale McGee, Chris Middleton, Jason Tatum.
Nah.
So great players now, but when you talking about the all time stuff, you got KD, you got Dame. No, them only top 75 players.
Yeah.
That's how we need to be thinking about it. Let's think about it in terms of top 75. Everybody on the 92 Dream Team was top 75 minus Christian Laettner.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else was top 75. So if we're looking at 2012, Melo top 75, Kobe top 75, Tyson Chandler was not. AD is, KD is, James Harden is, Iggy is not, Brian is. I don't remember if K Love was or not.
I don't think so.
I don't think he was. Chris Paul is, Russell Westbrook is. I don't think Darren Williams was.
No, heck no. No, no.
Nah.
I don't say heck no, but no, he didn't play enough to like earn that.
Yeah, nah. So you talking about 8 guys that's definitely top 75 versus 10 guys that's definitely top 75. Ain't no other teams got that.
Mm-hmm.
None. Like even 2008, Boozer wasn't, Bosch wasn't, Dwight wasn't. He should have been. I will throw that in there. Dwight definitely should have been top 75.
Since we said that,
episode.
since we said that, I personally believe Anthony Davis should not have been on the NBA 7. We didn't make an episode about that, but we should have. I don't believe Anthony
We
Davis earned
still
the top
can.
75. Cool, we can do that next time. So I don't believe Anthony Davis should have earned a 75. I don't care. Y'all can like I love 80, but I don't think he earned it. Since we on that too, I don't know if Dame should have been on that. And y'all know I love Dame.
I'm glad you said it because I was getting ready to. I'm
Take
glad
both
you said
boys off. Take both of them off. Put Melo on. Put Dwight on. Put not Melo. T Mac on. Vince Carter.
Melo
It's
was
too
in
many
it. Melo
names.
was in it.
And that's why I said I mixed it up. I put T Mac on.
Yeah.
Put Vince Carter on. And I love Dame, but I don't
One of them
know.
boys.
Like, come on now.
He
Like,
ain't did enough.
not enough, man. And that's
He
my
ain't did
boy.
enough.
I love him. I'm not trying to knock him, and I love him, but nah. So technically, for me, take 80 off of that. Just me personally. But I expect he
I
got
feel
it,
that
so
though.
keep on it. So cool.
Nah, yeah, but definitely Dwight. Dwight, 3 defensive players of the year, won the
I think
championship
he
with the
had
Lakers.
4.
Nah, I don't know. I think it was 3.
Oh
I
no, he
think he
should have
won
had.
three
My
in a
bad.
row.
He should have had 4. He should have had 4. That's my opinion. That's my
But Dwight, you talking about a guy with 3 defensive player of the years? It ain't too many people with 3 NBA trophies. Not to mention
yeah,
3 defensive players of the years. Like, so I don't know. I thought that was messed up. But
yeah.
anyway, if you look at '08, Boozer not top 75, Bosh not top
Mm-hmm.
75, Dwight
Mm-hmm.
not top 75. We gonna count Dwight for our own personal sake. Boozer, Bosh, Kid was. Tayshaun Prince, I do not think was.
Heck no.
Michael Redd was not, and
Nope.
Darren Williams was not.
Nope.
So yeah, like they not cutting it when you talk about all time. But then when you go to the next one, 2012, you got Tyson Chandler and you got Iggy and Caleb, and then Darren Williams again. Darren Williams was just hanging on to the Olympic team, boy. When I look at this man wanted to play for them Olympics.
He had to hang on to his best years, man. Because after that, I don't know what happened, but he went down here fast.
Bad. But yeah, man. I don't know. We might need to do a whole other episode with just that, but like, it's debatable, But I love that 2012 team. That was one of the first ones. Like I watched their games consistently. Like I was on their games, but like I watched some of the 2008 games, but I ain't watch all of them. But 2012, I was on them. Them boys was tough. Oh, and
So,
another thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
nah, because I'm finna flip to another hot topic thing. So you can go ahead and get yours out. Go ahead.
I was gonna go back to something I remember from the doc. So if you want to keep it on this, that's fine.
Oh, okay, cool. Write that down or something because I don't want you to forget.
No,
So,
I got it.
all right, I'll forget. So I gotta write stuff down. So for me personally, man, I'm gonna kind of contradict myself a little bit here, but I'm perfectly fine. I can back it up too. I personally believe that. So part of the reason why people say the dream team is the best team all time, they were smacking teams by an average of like, let's just say 40. I think I don't remember exactly.
They was whooping everybody.
Yeah, they was whooping everybody. It was easy. Like it was no. I think the closest margin of victory was like 40 points. Something like it was something ridiculous. Like you just don't hear about that.
Yeah.
And I think the average after that was like everybody was like 30, something like that. I think Dream Team 2 had the next closest. Next margin of gap. They were the second highest behind the Dream Team.
Mm-hmm.
But since you want to be nitpicking stuff about how things were, I think that the world was better. Like if you played the competition of what the 08 team went against versus what the 92 team went against, the 08 Olympic team, the international team, like the foreign teams, were way better than the 92 teams because they actually had pro players there. So you can't use that margin of victory as part of the reason why the dream team was so much better than every other team, because the competition is way much like 10 times better what they faced back then. Like we're facing Dirk Nowitzki, who was an all-time great player, top 75 player, like we just mentioned, a top 10 power forward all time. Like he was a bucket. We were going against that. Argentina, ridiculous. Like they had some
Manu.
they had.
I was going to bring on Ricky Hernandez. That's what I was going to get on to today, actually. But like, oh my God, was Hernandez giving these boys buckets? I was
like, oh my goodness, bro. Like,
I was like, who is this? I'm watching the dot, like, who is this? This man killing them. Bro. And I'm talking about real buckets, not off some like he got good plays ran for. I'm talking about Buddy coming off the screen off the top. I'm like, who is this?
Yep. Bro, that's the funny thing. I forgot who said it. I think it might have been Katie, But they're like, man, that's the funny thing about going overseas, man. You got a dude who be like my backup basically, and he go over there. He like the Jordan over there. I'm just like he cooking, bro. I'm just like Patty Mills, for example. On the NBA roster, he's a really good backup. Like a lot of teams would love to have him.
Solid point guard.
But tell me why he was busting everybody but this past recent
I
Olympic
remember.
year. Like
I
busting
remember.
like he was the MVP of the league almost type of busting like crazy. So it's like the foreign the international game is killing what happened in 92 and 96. Like the 90s, it's just two different worlds. So you having NBA guys on these rosters. So like I know your game. Technically, I don't even know your game because your game's totally different. Because you're not backup Patty Mills. You're not this guy who just plays a role over here. Like you're totally different over there. You are like the Chris Paul of your team. You're the KD of your team, and it's a whole new scouting report right now. You got my scouting report because I'm pretty much the same guy, maybe a watered down version, but I can still go off on you anytime needed. So it's like you got my scouting report, but I don't have yours now because you're a totally different player. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like we can't knock the 2012 team, 2018, whoever moving forward. Like, oh, you're not winning by 30 like the Dream Team or 50 by the Dream Team was. Because we're playing better teams. It's not that we're that much worse. The competition is that much better. So yeah, we might only win by 20, but our 20 is y'all 60. So yeah, y'all won by 50, but we're even outdoing what you guys did before because we're going against our teammates and our counterparts. These are pro guys too. So I was thinking about that too when they said they only beat Argentina, or whoever it was, or Spain. Like Spain was stupid, but they had like 6 pro guys on the team. The
They
Gasol
had
brothers.
Kyle and Mark Gasol. Yeah.
They had both. They had Ricky Rubio. They had Fernandez on their team. I think Rudy Fernandez. They had
Rudy Fernandez.
Jose
Yeah.
Calderon. Like they have pro players on their team, bro. Like what are we talking about? And these are starters too. So it's like, so I just
Facts.
feel like that's an issue for me when we talk about the dream team smacking everybody about 40. I only win about 20. But ours is so much better competition in there. So that's my hot take. I just feel like people gotta
No, but
stop.
the thing about it was the Dream Team introduced basketball to the world to a lot of
Mm-hmm.
places. Because like they said, when they went over there, everybody like in love with Michael Jordan. They even been Michael Jordan, Mike. You
Yep.
know, and like they finally get to see basketball on the highest level with their own eyes. Because it ain't like they showing NBA games in every country. The Olympics showed everywhere,
Yep.
and so this is the world's kind of introduction to the best level of basketball. And so that propelled the world into like playing better, like putting better basketball teams together. And so people don't realize that like the world was not into basketball. America invented basketball. Basketball was invented in America, and it
Mm-hmm.
became a global sport. But it's not the same. And like the international game is so much more different, and not even just international basketball. So like my coach didn't even say this. He was like, the opportunities y'all had to play basketball overseas way different than what I had when I was coming up. Because by the
Oh
time
yeah.
my coach graduated in college and like finishing his basketball career, let me see, he 55, I want to say. So that means he was getting out of it. So he was 22 about 23 years ago. So like 98-ish is when he was probably coming out of college.
Mm-hmm.
And so um that ain't even like Dream Team era yet. Like, I mean, that's past the Dream Team by a few years. But he was like, well, back when he played, like going overseas, look, you might have like one American guy on every team. Like they
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like taking Americans left and right. You know what I'm saying? They had to take the best American they could get because
Yep.
they was only gonna get like one or two guys. But now y'all got it where like a overseas team might take 4 or 5 guys, and like just to give themselves the best chance to win. There's way more opportunity, and there's more countries playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, the talent pool is bigger. Like it's just way more talent out there. Like I remember Charles Barkley was talking about. I think in the '96 Olympics they played against Dirk Nowitzki before he came into the league, and he was
Oh yeah.
killing them. And,
Yeah.
of course, Dirk is Dirk. Like we know who Dirk is now, but this young Dirk before he in the
Mm-hmm.
league, and he was like the next year or 2 years later he got drafted.
Mm-hmm.
So think about that. Dirk killing them before he even in the league. He ain't even
Yep.
NBA yet. He killing Charles Barkley and them. And obviously they still won, but Dirk killing them. Now think
Mm-hmm.
about a team with a bunch of NBA level talent. playing the way that they play, because obviously, that was like the main theme is like how well the other teams play together because they've been playing together, and
Mm-hmm.
we ain't throwing players together, making them play together. They
Yep.
got players they talking about how like they like brothers, they've been together since they was teenagers, this and that, and so that's why they play so well together. So you got that plus NBA level talent all on the same team. And you out here talking about, yeah, this kid named Dirk Nowitzki. He didn't call him Nowitzki. This kid named Dirk Nowitzki play for the German team, was killing us. And we going up to him like, shoot, man, you need to be in the NBA. And
Yep.
he was the next year or 2 years later.
Yep.
So just like, nah, yeah, you can hang that up talking to me. Like, oh, the Dream Team was blowing people out by 40 every night. Yeah, they should have been. Them boys
Yep.
don't play basketball. Now, when we get to playing soccer, we gonna see who the real Dream Team is. Them boys weren't picking up no basketball in the 90s.
Oh, don't bring up American soccer, bro. We are getting smacked. Like,
Nah, come
oh
on,
my goodness,
man.
bro.
I
We
bet
getting
they were
smacked.
saying that too. Wait till we play soccer. Y'all boys can pull up to the soccer game in a week for the Olympics, and we gonna see who doing all the talking then. When we
Yeah,
beat y'all 8-0.
and that's
You know,
that's terrible. That's
the eight
that's
to
terrible.
zero in soccer might as well be a 50 ball. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. But yeah, man, nah, it's not. You can't compare what they did because the same way we talk about the game is different. The talent was different, and we talk about
Mm-hmm.
that all the time. But you just can't compare like how bad they was doing people versus what's going on now. Like, so like you said, that us beating them by 20 is the equivalent of y'all 40 ball, 50 balls. So
Yep.
I ain't going for that. But
Yes, so
Rudy
your
Hernandez,
turn, bro.
but Rudy Hernandez is what I was going to get into. I was like, boy, what is happening? And this man getting buckets on Kobe, D Wade, like defenders now,
Mm-hmm.
giving them buckets, tough buckets too. Like the passes they was making, I was like, these boys hooping. I don't care what nobody say. If you watch the doc now, you know it.
Yep.
These boys hooping. I ain't seen not one clip of a great pass or great bucket from any of the team, the Dream Team play. And I didn't watch a Hardwood Classic of them playing before. I ain't watched the whole thing, but you know what I'm saying? I done seen them play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I ain't seen none of that. D-boy was getting off. I was like, yo, like, D-boy hooping. I'm talking
Yep.
about tween cross, get to the lane, hot step, pad behind my back, the big right there from the donkey. I was like, what? Like, you could tell they've been together for some years. Like, you don't have chemistry like that without playing for some years. Like, you could be as smart a basketball player as you want to be, hitting a no-look pass after you just did a hard move, and they
Mm-hmm.
go straight to him. That's
Yeah.
chemistry. I
Yeah.
don't care what nobody say.
I do want to have one small comment on that, bro.
This gonna be 2 episodes.
But nah, I forgot. I think it might have been the same dude, but he had some of the ugliest footwork move, bro. It was like he went tween cross. But you know how you like the James Harden tween cross, right?
Yeah,
And you know how like a kid do it, and it's like they hopping. And it's like
yeah.
I wish I could put the clip up here, but like it's like tween and he hop back to do the cross, and it's tween again and hop back to do the cross, and it's staying like in the same spot. I was like, that's from old school basketball because nowadays that's
Mhm.
getting ate up, bro. Like you're not doing that in the NBA now, bro.
I'm
Like
pressing that one in your chest. I promise you, dog.
that's my little comment, bro. That's it. But like I saw that, I was like, and you're cooking us. Okay, we're tripping. Like,
Okay. Was okay.
oh, no disrespect, but I try to show you like the time frame when it was, bro. Like, and you see it, you'll be like, come, Kobe, D Wade, come on now, bro. Like, somebody got to stop this, bro. That's the move. This ain't no AI cross. Like, I'm gonna try to find it again and show it. I'm gonna send it to you, bro. That jump was like, it was embarrassing. As a hooper, it's like
He
you
cooking us.
you cooking what that little tween cross? Oh, okay, all right. So Kobe, sit down, bro. You lost.
Your head ain't in the game.
You lost focus, bro. Like, go home. Like, try it again, man.
Oh my god, that's funny. I ain't thinking about that. But some of their moves was looking a little basic. But I might have to see exactly what you talking about. But
I'm gonna watch again, try to find and send it to you, bro. That jump was like, I felt embarrassed for them, bro. I'm like, That ain't it.
That ain't it. That ain't it at all. Oh my god, man.
Oh
But
man.
man, it's been a good one, dog. Is there anything else we want to throw in on the redeem team? Only the redeem team. Oh,
um, nah, I had something else I wanted to say, but I forgot it. But it's too late now. So we finna be 3 episodes in now. So we done. Oh, that's funny.
oh man. But nah, dog, that does it for us, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the talk, man. Well, nah, I know we enjoyed it, so I hope y'all enjoyed it. But be sure to like and subscribe, man. Be sure to drop down in the comments. Let us know about any like little moments in the documentary that stood out to you. Something we might not have talked about. What's your favorite moment that happened? Whatever. And you know. Matter of fact, I also want to do this. Who is your favorite Olympic basketball player? Because like when it comes to the Olympics, everybody play a little bit different. Because I know people be talking about Melo like the best Olympic basketball player.
Yeah, Olympic Melo's up there.
Olympic Melo, and then we saw Kobe with his big moments. Then this one, this right here, that was cold, by the way. That was cold, yeah. This right here, cold. But anyway, who's your favorite player during the Olympics? Like, not just your favorite player, but during the Olympics, who was the guy that was like you want to see? So yeah, leave that down in the comments, man. But yeah, that does it for us for another episode of the BeBall Jones podcast, man. Be sure to follow Brian on all social medias at BeBall Jones. That's BeBall Jones on all platforms. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at NellyH34, at Nelson.Haskin on IG, and you can find me at my name on Facebook. So be sure to go follow us up over there. We like to keep the conversation going. Also follow the podcast on TikTok. If you're on YouTube, you see it going across the screen right now. Feel me? Be sure to go follow us on TikTok, man. We got a couple videos up over there already, so y'all go check those out. But yeah, man, that does it for us, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next week for another great episode. It might be another talk, might be a debate, might be a little interview again. You never know until you show up. So be sure to check us out next week. But without further ado, man, we out.